Part 2, The Journey to the Promise, and the Birth of Isaac. In Part 1, we saw a man obey the call of a God he barely knew. He left everything behind, his family, his comfort, his homeland, and walked into the unknown because he believed. But this story doesn't end with belief. Faith begins with obedience but is proven in the fire of delay. This is the journey to the promise. And this journey will test everything. If you haven't watched the Part 1 yet, please click the video icon showing on your screen to watch Part 1 or visit our channel to watch all channels so you'll enjoy this great story. And before you continue, please, if you haven't done this yet, like this video and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. Thank you. Welcome to Bible Stories Dramatized, your top choice YouTube channel for epic and timeless Bible stories just as they happened. Before you continue watching, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, share, and turn on the notification bell for more. Thank you. Happy watching. Famine in the Promised Land. When the promise looks like a desert. The very land God had promised was dry. Canaan, this supposed land of blessing, was already whispering hunger. How could a land flowing with promise be cracking under the sun? Abraham, weary and confused, watched his flocks then, and his servants grow restless. And when desperation knocked, he didn't wait for divine direction. He packed his tents and went down to Egypt. Can you relate to that moment? When God made you a promise, but life looked like anything but fulfillment. And in fear, you took matters into your own hands? A lie in the land of Pharaoh. Egypt was survival, but it came at a price. Abraham was afraid. His wife Sarai was beautiful. So beautiful that Abraham feared the Egyptians would kill him just to take her. So he whispered, "Say you're my sister." And she obeyed. Pharaoh's eyes saw Sarai and he took her into his palace. The husband of promise had handed his wife to another man to save himself. Wait, this is the father of faith? And yet, God intervened. He plagued Pharaoh's house, revealing the truth. Pharaoh returned Sarai to Abraham, furious and humiliated. And Abraham left Egypt with his life, and more wealth than he came with. But what does it profit a man to gain gold if he almost loses his soul? The separation of Lot. Quarrels among the blessed. Back in Canaan, Abraham was richer but so was his nephew Lot. And with more herds came more herdsmen. And with more herdsmen came arguments. Land. Wells. Water. Space. The blessing became the battleground. And so, Abraham, noble and humble, said, "Let there be no quarrel between us. If you go left, I'll go right. If you go right, I'll go left." Lot looked. He saw the green valleys of Jordan and the bustling cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. He chose what looked good. And he left. But not all that glitters is gold. And not every lush valley leads to life. Lift up your eyes. After Lot departed, the silence was loud. Abraham had let go, again, and God spoke. Lift up your eyes, look north, south, east, and west. All this I will give to you and your offspring forever. The land that Lot left behind was nothing compared to the land God was still preparing. Because faith often loses first to win later. The battle of the kings. Lot in trouble. Lot's choice led him into a trap. 5 kings rose up and warred against 4 others. Sodom was raided. Lot was taken. Word reached Abraham. And though he had every reason to leave Lot to his fate, he didn't. Abraham armed 318 trained servants and rode out at night. He attacked. He won. He rescued Lot and returned the stolen goods. Even when people make foolish choices, faith doesn't turn its back. The mysterious king. On the way back, Abraham was met by someone strange. A man with no beginning, no end. A priest of the Most High God. His name was Melchizedek. He brought bread and wine and blessed Abraham. And Abraham gave him 1/10 of everything. Who was he? Was he a man? An angel? A shadow of the Christ to come? We don't fully know. But in that moment, Abram recognized a greater authority than kings. The covenant in the stars. The promise reaffirmed. Years passed. No child, no fulfillment. Abram was growing older, Sarai's womb still barren. Then God spoke again. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield. Your reward will be very great. But Abram sighed, What can you give me, Lord? I remain childless. And God took him outside. Look up. Count the stars if you can. So shall your descendants be. And Abram believed. And it was counted to him as righteousness, the blood covenant. But God didn't stop with words. He made a covenant, a sacred binding promise. Animals were split. A path of blood laid out. And in a deep sleep, Abram saw a terrifying vision. A prophecy, his descendants would be slaves in a foreign land for 400 years, but they would return. A smoking firepot and flaming torch passed between the pieces. God had signed the covenant himself. Abram was not just a man with a promise. He was a man under blood sealed by God. The impatience of faith Sarai's plan. But time wore them down. Sarai could bear it no longer. So she gave Abram her maid, Hagar. Take her, perhaps I shall obtain children through her. Abram agreed. And Hagar conceived. And suddenly Sarai hated what she once suggested. How often do we rush God's plan, and then despise the results? Hagar's flight. Sarai mistreated Hagar. Pregnant and alone, Hagar fled into the wilderness. But there in the middle of nowhere God found her. You are the God who sees me, she whispered. And he promised her a son, Ishmael. Hagar returned. And bore Abram a son. But this was not the child of the promise. And before you continue watching, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, share, and turn on the notification bell for more. Thank you. Happy watching. The God who renames. A new identity. 13 years later, when Abram was 99, God appeared again. And this time everything changed. I am El Shaddai, God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. And God changed his name. From Abram, exalted father, to Abraham, father of many nations. And Sarai would be Sarah, princess. Then, the unthinkable. I will bless Sarah and give you a son by her. Abraham fell face down and laughed. Will a child be born to a man 100 years old? But God insisted. Your wife Sarah will bear you a son and you will call him Isaac. A covenant in flesh. The sign. And God gave Abraham a sign. Every male was to be circumcised. A painful, personal, permanent mark. A daily reminder of the covenant. Abraham obeyed, immediately. He and every male in his house were circumcised that very day. Because when the promise becomes real, it marks you forever. Now, he was no longer Abram. No longer waiting in the shadows. He was Abraham, marked by covenant, walking by faith. And soon the impossible would begin to grow in Sarah's womb. But the journey was far from over. Because with every promise comes a test. And in part 3, Abraham's faith will be taken to the altar. Click the icon on your screen to watch part 3. And turn on the notification bell so you won't miss other parts. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Lessons from the journey to the promise. What can we possibly learn from such a journey? A journey that was filled with fear, detours, waiting, and pain. First, we learn that even people of great faith can make mistakes. Abram lied. Sarai doubted. They rushed God's timing. They hurt others. But God remained faithful. Not because they were perfect, but because his promise was. Second, delay does not mean denial. Just because the promise hasn't come yet doesn't mean it won't. If God said it, hold on. You may be 99 years old and still not late in God's calendar. Third, obedience is not always convenient. From fighting battles to painful circumcision, faith is not about feelings. It's about trust, action, surrender. And fourth, God sees those who are overlooked. Like Hagar in the wilderness, you may feel abandoned, mistreated, forgotten. But God sees you. He knows your name. He hears your cry. So what is your Egypt? What is your Hagar? Where have you laughed in doubt when you should have held on in faith? Now, if this story touched you, inspired you, or made you reflect deeply, don't keep it to yourself. Please, like this video to help it reach more hearts. Comment below what stood out to you the most. We want to hear from you. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that God is still working even in the waiting. And subscribe to the channel for more epic and emotional Bible stories told like never before. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching this great Bible story dramatized. We want to hear your opinions, questions and thoughts in the comments section. Before you leave, please help us subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, share to others, and turn on the notification bell for more contents. Please. Thank you.